What's going on, everyone? So we back with another video. Damn, it feels like a struggle in here. It do. I got this background right here that looks messy as hell. I feel like a hoarder. I feel like I belong on one of them television shows where I just got a bunch of bullshit from the fucking late 60s all the way to now that's just chilling around my crib. But no, your boy is packing. I still move at the end of the month. I can't wait. I'm excited. Right on time for the birthday, man. So I appreciate all y'all with the best wishes that y'all been blessing me with. Thank y'all so much. But let's get started. So as you guys read the title, I played over 50 hours. Actually, I really played like around 80 hours or so. 50 by itself clocked on the PlayStation and the rest across the other platforms such as Xbox and PC. And we're gonna talk about it. This is just the gist of everything. Not really a review, but more so just my honest thoughts on everything I've experienced so far. If you're still kind of feeling weary about purchasing this game for 70 or whichever other editions, I'm gonna make sure you get the best deal based on the stuff that's available and not available in this game. Because there's some stuff, man. Thankfully, shout out to 2K. They gave me a copy for the PlayStation and the PC. However, I had to purchase my own Xbox version. I had to test it out. You have to. I had to make sure that the Xbox version was cool. PS4 and Xbox One users, I ain't got shit for you. I'm sorry. I also want to put it out there that Universe mode and my GM mode, I've played those modes just recently. I punched in a couple of hours here and there. I was really looking up some videos on how does these modes work. You know, what's the best way to put out content for these modes that would entertain you guys. And I've got an idea, and I was very like on edge, like, should I even make videos on these two? But I think it's only fair that I did try out those modes. That way I could give you guys some more clarity on that if you guys are big fans of those too. But let's just get this all out the way. First things first, WWE 2k25 is a huge leap and improvement. I'm gonna use the term leap for one big reason. The online, with the exception of a huge bug that still needs to be addressed, me and my friends who we live all over the globe have not lagged at all during our matches. I do want to be clear, if you really have doo-doo internet, you're gonna struggle. I know 2K has been real thing with that. In the previous WWE games, every time you would play, the match would end and it'll like lag everybody out. All of a sudden, just due to one person's connection. We play with guys that are in the West Coast, I'm all the way in the East, and they be having one bar and we don't lag at all during our matches. It doesn't mean we don't encounter bugs, but as far as lagging, nothing happens. And I'm gonna just stand on that. Y'all see my streams. I've streamed for over 40 hours already, like probably like 30 or so hours. And y'all have not seen me lag at all. Like, I have not lagged on this game. There is an issue. The loading screens when sending invitations to one another is annoying. Sometimes they don't work. You have to close app. They need to address that. 2K, like, people were literally testing out your game, flying back and forth. All these tests, like, they should already had told you the invite system is a little bit wonky. I don't know if it was working through LAN and everybody was together, but the online connection is okay when you're playing, but getting to the matches is a little bit of a hassle. Sometimes you have to close app because that loading screen, that goes with the island. The island is a new mode that was introduced by 2K, similar to the city in NBA 2K, but also very different. Okay, that loading screen during early access was abysmal. It was like the PG loading screen in 2K18, if I'm not mistaken, 2K18, where you would sit there for like 20 minutes. It was disgusting. Then they finally patched it. And one thing I do want to give them credit for, this is one of the games they've been on high alert with. They've patched this game like 2-3 times already. I mean, updated the game 2-3 times since its initial release. They're not playing no games. This game came out the 14th. They've been patching this bitch since like the 13th, 12th. And they have been updating us with everything. So I'm actually happy that they're taking it very serious. 2K24 still got bullshit in it. Now, they've added a bunch of features that I personally like a lot. And I understand you guys are gonna say, hey, listen, this is WWE 2K24.5. You're spending your money on a reskin, or you're just buying DLC basically at this point. It's like, hey, listen, yes, the game is very similar to WWE 2K24, very similar, with a bunch of new additives to it, some new features, some new quality of life fixes, like the LED barricades. I really like that a lot, simply for the simple fact they're very reactive. If you throw your opponent on there, you can see some damages. You can obviously throw them towards the corner barricades where you can kind of fight them alongside the audience, but you know, with some good, you see some flaws. Like the fan interaction looks weird. The fans have always been super flawed for a very long time. And I was hoping, you know, one day we'll get like some really good fan interactions when you throw them over the barricades and stuff like that. But you know, hey, listen, maybe in the future, the power of the new consoles or PCs, I don't know, maybe mods, I don't know. But that is also nice. Chain wrestling obviously is back, and it's like a hit or miss for me, because although I do like chain wrestling, I notice like, damn, where it's at when you play with like multiple people. And I realize it's only available for 1v1s. I don't think, and I believe it's because of the screen real estate. When you do the chain wrestling and all those little commands on the screen, it would just take up everybody else's screen real estate. So yeah, that is a little bit of a drawback. It's kind of unfortunate, but also really like the enhancements they made with the body damage. You know, the sweat engine, a lot of the scarring, the blood looks really good. Men and women can bleed. I don't think a man can make a female bleed, and I don't know if a female can make a man bleed. I think that you could have a female make a man bleed. But now intergender matches are here, so you can now have men versus women. It's not a bad thing at all. You got some tag matches, you can do elimination chamber matches, custom matches, have male and female fight against each other. Some of my favorite stuff too is the backstage brawls. They've enhanced it a ton. They've added a bunch of new weapons, different locations now. I love the archives, man. Seeing some of your favorite stuff from history, just, you know, you're just throwing your opponents on the SmackDown fist and just jumping off different areas. It's actually really, really fun, very interactive too, especially the way you throw opponents into the cars. Again, a lot of stuff you're gonna say happened last year, but there's some new additives that make the quality of life features worth it. Okay, I'm being honest. And again, overall, the game works. Like the online works. It's very stable when you have a match going on. It's just the invite system. I'm gonna always bring that up. The invite system is very flawed. Okay. There's a lot of bugs in this game though. Like sometimes people will be instant transmissioning like to another area. We just had a match online where Scott Steiner was one location. They got into a grapple move. He ended up in a whole nother area of the backstage. Like I was like super confused. So they got stuff like that. They got the body morphing glitches that are still there. They have some instances where you can't kick out of pins. We played the elimination chamber match, and that was the only match. Like that was the only match type that it would create that kind of bug. I think they fixed it by now, but as soon as you would kick out the first time, no one else in the match could. It's like little stupid glitches that I'm like, but y'all have had enough time to test that. You know, you've had beta tests, I guess, with creators, or you've had time to really see these kind of bugs. These aren't things that you would have never figured out. These are in-game happening in real time. So like, I'd be kind of confused as to how they didn't notice that. But across all modes, I see that they have a large amount of bugs that simply don't make any sense. The way people walk into things, you have King Booker with no knees. When you unlock him, he has no knees. How did you import this character and not realize that when you have him unlocked, the dude don't have no knees? He looks like Super Cena. Some of the stuff right here is like laughable, okay? They have like cool match types like the underground match. I think it's dope. But when one of my viewers had put me onto that match type, I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer. I thought it was really cool to have, but I was really wondering why the hell was there NPCs that was just sitting there. I wish they could have replaced that with real people if you played online. Also, just having them around and not doing anything, I thought was like a waste of like asset space, to be honest. I know some of y'all gonna say you really nitpicking, but personally, I just think it was like a waste of asset space. They just do this the whole time, and I'm like, yo, they're not doing shit. So it didn't really matter to me. They definitely fixed up some of the matches that were like a little bit buggy last time, but let me just break this to you. A new bug came about where when you do a custom match, sometimes the rules don't change depending on the type of match you made. So if you want everybody to play an 8-man battle royale, offline, online, whichever, land play, sometimes it glitches and it'll just be that if someone gets pinned, the whole match is over, instead of it being like an elimination, like when you customize your settings. And stuff like that is kind of annoying. Let's start talking about things like My Rise. Now, I'm enjoying My Rise for what it is. I already beat it. I don't want to spoil it unless you're already watching my walkthrough, but and I'm currently like editing the video, whatever. But I give it like a solid 5 out of 10. I think it's all about the person playing it to make the experience better if you're doing content. But if you're just somebody who's randomly playing the game, I think it could be a hit or miss. First and foremost, the whole back and forth dialogue that goes on where it looks like text messages, that's been going on for the last couple of years, and that gets a little bit dried out, honestly, especially considering there's just a lack of depth in that mode because of the fact that there's a new mode that they're putting emphasis on and more attention to, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But the way you kind of raise your character's attributes it's like, all right, like I don't really feel as immersed. I'm just trying to make the gameplay as engaging and as fun as to watch. The story is very okay. Story's decent. It's almost like the Nexus, but they're like taking it a step further. And one of the things that people are having an issue with is the fact that you have to play the career as a male and female. I don't have a problem playing as a male and female. The problem that I have is that the story ain't even that rich. It ain't that deep. It's just very bland. And you made all this, like you making us play as both, but nothing feels that deep. I feel like every time we have something here with context within the story, it turns into a text message battle and just dead faces just chatting. And you know, I might be nitpicking, but we're already a few years in with their whole career mode, and I just feel like they're not putting enough effort in that mode, in my opinion. You know, in my opinion, they're not putting as much effort as I would hope for. Community creations, I feel like that community right there is gonna have a better way to explain it than I am, because I'm not the guy. Like, I create my character, I would import my face scan and all that other stuff, but I just know the limitations, and just them not adding that much more to create community creations is due to the fact of the island and everything they're trying to do there. And it kind of sucks, because playing this game, you do understand they remove cross-gen or cross, you know, community creation downloads. So it's only PC, PS4, and Xbox One. So PS5 and Xbox One users, they stay by themselves. And just having all this, it just feels like they were working on like several different products, meaning several different WWE 2k25 games. That's just my opinion. I feel like having to limit certain platforms and limit features and all this other stuff is why we getting bare bones modes across the board. Let's just quickly go through my factions. I like the fact that they did a whole world tour thing within the my factions mode. So pretty much you can grind for personas, grind for different things, different cards, different characters, different wrestlers, of course. And they made it more immersive with that. Like, you go to different areas within the globe and you can fight to unlock attires and all the other cool stuff. And you know, you don't have to spend money on VC, which is a good thing, but there's a lot of grinding. I feel like my faction is going, or has been, in the same path like MLB The Show. MLB The Show is a little bit ridiculous now, I'm not gonna lie, but my factions, I can see it going that route. But still, another fun mode. You kind of know the gist of it. It's like My Team, but with wrestlers, and you get right in and get out, man. I think it's a fun mode to just unlock some more characters. I don't understand the hate for having to play the story mode or a mode like my factions, unless there's like, you have to spend money. That's bullshit. But I don't understand the hate for those things to unlock wrestlers, when for years you've always had to play certain modes anyways to unlock wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand, but I mean, sometimes I don't want to have to grind too much, so I get it. But you know, overall, just hating that is confusing. That's been a thing for years. Outside of that, we had the blood, the what do you call it? The Bloodline Showcase. I can't believe I forgot that. Holy crap. So the Bloodline Showcase, man, now that I've beaten it and I've put a bunch of hours into it, a lot of annoying hours, that mode, that idea, that whole style is fantastic. Okay, fantastic. But it's riddled with some real big annoyances, some real bugs, some real annoyances, and some stuff that I felt like they didn't have to put in the game. So let me just break this to you. I appreciate the whole what ifs, and I appreciate the dream matches, and I appreciate the matches that actually happened where the results did, or the results ended in the Samoans or whichever family from the Samoan side had won. The what ifs are cool as hell, because it's like you would go up against your opponent who originally beat you back during that live event, but this time you're gonna go ahead and beat them to retain the title for your bloodline. I think that's dope. The dream matches, I don't want to like make it just be the Debbie Downer, but the dream matches that involve like Street Profits versus, you know, another tag team from the bloodline, or even AOP, like that shit was whack, yo. I'm just being honest. Though, like, I love Street Profits, but like that's not a dream match. Like I'm stuttering. That's not a dream match. That's not a dream match, y'all. I'm sorry. That's not a dream match at all. By no means. Ain't nobody really want to see the Street Profits versus anybody from the bloodline in the past. Like, nobody wants to see that, and I hate to be that guy. Nobody wants to see AOP going up against any of the guys, Sika or anybody, like Fatu or anybody. Nobody wants to see that. So I kind of wished they would have grabbed more, maybe Roman Reigns matches or some other stuff to add into that and kind of replace it. Also, one of my worst by far matches was the Tamina Snuka ladder match. Now they definitely fixed the ladder matches in the game, having a different way to to engage with that whole ladder with the whole briefcase shit. I don't, and I said it live, I will not be playing ladder matches multiplayer with people. If it's not a 1v1, don't ask me. Because ladder matches for me has always been annoying with several people. The match just never ends. But that Tamina Snuka shit was so garbage, and it made me hate the challenges, because some of the challenges are the challenges are simple. Punch him in the head 5 times, kick him in the booty. All right, now kick him in the booty one more time and look at it. Like, it's stupid challenges like that. And then comes the annoying shit where it's like, you have 5 seconds to look at him and call him daddy and then smack him in his mouth. Like, and if you don't do it, you got to restart the whole match. So that's the annoying part. Like the Tamina Snuka shit with Natalya, when I had to beat her ass before she gets in, I kept failing it. And a lot of y'all gonna be like, oh man, I didn't fail it. A lot of people were failing it too. I was getting so annoyed. Also, the Bloodline match, the OG versus the current, when it asked me to make people bleed, my shit was glitching out to the point where I thought I had people bleeding, but it kept saying I needed one more person. But let me just also add in this. The AI in the game has gotten a rehaul. So for certain matches, it makes so much sense the way they interact. And I like that. It's almost like on the hardest difficulty, you're fucked. But literally, the AI on all levels doesn't matter. You're screwed when having to beat the time in the Bloodline showcase. So if they tell you got 25 seconds, for some reason RNG kicks in, they reverse God and you can't get none of the shits in. It's really annoying if you play it on Legendary, well, the hardest difficulty, and you're trying to get those things off. Good luck. I'm telling you, it's bullshit. But outside of that, the matches, I had fun with many other, parts of the Bloodline showcase. I wish they could, again, add in more. But that was annoying. The thing about the AI though, during the Bloodline showcase was my team, where if I played in a match that involved the team, they was fucking pinning the opponents. And I was like, dude, like, what? You're not supposed to pin. Like, why didn't they implement that coding to not pin? I'm supposed to pin later on. We still got challenges we gotta complete. And they were pinning while I was knocked out on the floor or something. It was annoying. Okay, now what else are we gonna talk about? Let's see. We have the island. The island. Okay. I don't know what to say. That mode is boring. That mode is boring. That mode right there. That trailer, as many trailers do, they get you hooked. You see what can possibly be something amazing, the start of something great. Obviously, we knew VC was implemented, so it wasn't going to be that perfect. But nonetheless, I felt like, all right, if there's VC in here, it better be worth it. I'm a content creator. Take it from me. Don't buy no VC. I bought the VC for you guys. I was able to get to level 100 within 5 minutes of being in the island. So yes, the VC is a little bit cheaper than NBA, but you can get more out of your VC. So I purchased $50 and was able to get to level 100. Yes, it don't matter if you're a level 100 or level 70, you can still whip somebody's ass. But the fact that you can raise your attributes and earning VC in that mode is trash. So you earn like 150 to 180, even with a 5-star match in that game, when you in that mode, when you're playing the little quest modes that are in the world. That game doesn't have it doesn't have 2v2s, that mode. It don't have 3v3s. It only has 1v1s. It's a glorified 1v1 mode. It could be any match type. It's a glorified 1v1 mode. So if you play 1v1s on the regular multiplayer, that just gave them a boost to just all be compy in that mode. I got lucky and played one match and I won because I stunned them at the end. And also I'm a kick out god, so I could kick out of any pin, but I got super lucky. I'm just gonna tell you from my experience. I played through the Deadlands, I played through Arcade of Forever, I played through the Temple, the Aztec Temple joint. I played through it all, and it's a bunch of like Pokemon, which I love Pokemon, but it's a bunch of like side-scrolling text message kind of story quests, and it gets just so boring and it's not fun. And the way to invite people is annoying. To get into a match, you don't see a bunch of arenas. You go into like, either you stand in front of the door and it says find a match, or you stand by the Arcade Forever Tomorrow arena and you hope that other people are also currently looking for a match. Yo, that is some bullshit. Currently there's still times I'm trying to find opponents when I was, at the time when I was trying to look. And let me not get started with the fact that all this shit that they've added in the clothing and the merch and everything, not being able to have cross community creations being implemented there and all that other stuff, because we're gonna talk about that. The simple fact that every store in there lacks content is insane. You brought VC and purchasing VC to this island with barely anything to purchase. Rhea Ripley has a tattoo shop with barely any tattoos. You have Draporium with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, and it barely has good content. You have even the Hurricane got his store, R-Truth. Then you have Nike and Jordan, which barely has anything. Wrestlers currently are wearing Jordans, like 12s, 1s, 5s. They have like Team Jordans. I'm not wearing Team Jordans in that game. I don't even wear Team Jordans in real life. I'd rather wear Indian slippers, the one with the toe out. I'm doing that. I'm not doing that bullshit in the game. But I feel like it has a bunch of potential to add content later. But why would you drop it in the current state? But let me also add that the fact that it's not connected with your My Rise character told me that had it been that was a thing, the game wouldn't be ready to release today. The game would have never came out because it would take a whole bunch of new scaling, and you would have to basically open up the whole game to now allowing a created character and earning VC throughout My Rise be implemented. You would have to add that whole system over, and it would have never been ready. And also, for the simple fact that, again, it was like a concept, I feel, in my opinion, and they wanted to see if people gonna bite, and we fucking bit. And that just goes to my whole point with the island just being super bare bones. I don't see a point. If you think you got what it takes to play 1v1 matches, you're gonna get fucking creamed. Pause. In that mode. But yeah, overall my experience, I don't want to make it seem like it's been terrible. I've had tons of fun. All the modes that I've played, I'm so glad that the online multiplayer has been the funnest shit ever. With you guys in the chat, with my friends, with Trey, Raunchy, Cell Squad, everybody that I've been playing with, it's been a blast. There's a bunch of little bugs, kinks, glitches. There's just so many little things that I'm like, dude, for all these quality of life fixes, why the hell did you not fix that? And let me also add in some other stuff. Remember when I talked about chain wrestling and why it's a hit or miss? I feel like they need to implement a system where we know when there's a heel coming out, they get booed. We know when there's a baby face coming out and they get cheers. We need some real impactful, we need Call of Duty size gigs of audio. You know how Warzone got this stupid ass fucking 50 gig audio for no reason? We need that in WWE. When we do the yes and the no and the boo and the yays, when you're punching people in chain wrestling and chaining, like when you're chain wrestling with somebody, I want it to sound like for real, like the shit is hype. It sounds so generic and bad. Also, I feel like there needs to be like a real bigger like momentum boost with the crowd. A system should have been implemented with the crowd where when you really whipping somebody's ass or you're coming back, the crowd is really going off and is hyping up your character's meter. Like it should have done a lot, man. It could have been so much and they missed. The crowd is just so dead to me. It's like every character is the same. They'll have like one dude, some chick, the same dude, then the same chick again. The audience got like 5 unique people in there, and it's all like mixed with different shirts. Just they all multiplied. It's just ridiculous. I feel like the entrances, they didn't up to date a lot of the roster's entrances. Some of them have been, some of them need fixing. Some of them that you would see them come out, I expected the crowd to roar. And real quick, Jey Uso's shit needs to get fixed. When they're yeeting, they're not yeeting. They are doing abdomen workouts. That needs to be fixed. That is insane. They are supposed to go like this. They are going like this. It's ridiculous. I think that needs to be fixed, along with the fact that when the game did drop in early access, even people like Tiffany Stratton had a 75 overall, knowing that they're the champion, knowing that they had a title. They finally updated. They had the roster a bit updated after that. But I seen Raquel's old render and she's at 86 with an old render. There's some stuff they just need to fix. They need to fix. Also, going back to the Bloodline Showcase, I just realized a lot of those what if matches, dream stuff, they took place. Actually, I think it's the dream matches. They took place in current day arenas. I kind of wish they would have put some more effort and put some old school arenas, or arenas that would make that would like make sense. But again, for every little piece of like content they gave us, we also know you can notice the flaws and what you would have hoped they could have done better. But overall, my opinion, my rating for this game so far, solid 7 out of 10. Simply because those quality of lives make a huge impact in the game. I think a lot of the content there is fun. It works. You can use your character creations online. Last year, you would lag out for having custom signs in a custom match with your friends or custom creators, like custom creations. It was annoying for the most part. This time, none of that happens. But hopefully I touch base on everything. I know there's a lot that I have not touched base on. The my GM and my GM and universe mode, I want to put more time into that so I can give you guys a better, concise video. But look, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And this is just how I feel after putting in 50 on PlayStation and like 20 or so hours amongst PC and Xbox. We're just trying to, see where we at with the game. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's your boy 3MG. God bless. Peace.